Recording both of them.
Hopefully. Hey guys, welcome to, I'm going to talk into the microphone, not towards the camera. Podcast number 1, Beyond Our Expertise podcast. Myself, William Carter, we'll do intros later. Carlos Estrada, for those that don't know. We'll just do a little bit of background on us first, and then we'll kind of get into the meat of it. I keep wanting to look in the microphone.
No,
when
it's
I talk,
good. It'll just capture
it. Alright, so
it'll just capture
for those of you that don't know me, I graduated from a local high school here in Sanford, North Carolina, which is where we're at, in 2013. Went to App State, graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Exercise Science in 2017. Minor in nutrition, wanted to go to physical therapy school, didn't get in for 2 years, life happened. So I was teaching actually at a local high school, which actually a really good experience. I know teaching is like the hardest profession on the planet, and I bow down to those that can do it for 30 years. But it was fun. It just wasn't really what I was passionate about. So I left it to pursue fitness coaching at First Health, and that's where I'm at now full time. So I'm doing basically personal training, in a medical fitness facility, and then strength conditioning coaching on the side. I did went in this morning about 5:30, worked out, worked a full day, went straight to CC, worked out with the team for an hour and a half, and grabbed dinner, got my hair cut, came right over here, started this podcast. So life is busy, but I'll let Carlos do his intro.
Carlos, graduated from the same high school a couple of years earlier.
2010?
10
Yeah.
for me. And I really never did any fitness, just soccer. And then recently, about a year ago, I started working out, started seeing some Carter Fit on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, he looks kind of good.
That's my cat. Pulse. No, yeah, we actually we played soccer together my freshman year, his senior year. Played on the varsity soccer team over at the high school together. So that's where we first met up. But Carlos you do a lot of photography and videography work, and so we kind of linked up to get stuff started on YouTube, and from there it merged into all different types of stuff, but eventually this podcast. So we're pretty excited about this. I think this is going to be a pretty big thing once we can get it rolling. But that's always the hardest part, is the first step. So yeah, we'll get into it. So we're just going to keep things pretty easy today, and we'll talk about fitness, working out, just because that's what I know best. But we'll bring on guests and talk about all different types of stuff. I know we both have tons of ideas, but just getting the timing right with everybody coming out will be kind of tricky. So today will be fitness, but moving forwards we'll talk about all sorts of crazy stuff. I think the next one I want to do is on conspiracy theories. So Trey, if you're watching this, you know who you are. I'll see you next week. But for fitness, for those of you that are interested in fitness and watching this, just kind of give you a breakdown of kind of what worked for me, why I started. We'll let Carlos chime in, because I know he's got a different story than I do, as far as working out goes and exercise, and his is probably a little bit more similarly related to everybody, the normal person. It's not a fitness freak musclehead like myself. So I go to college at App, freshman year, legitimately bored out of my freaking mind, because I went from playing soccer 3, 4, 5 times a week, driving up to Raleigh, playing for 2 hours, driving home, to not playing any soccer at all. And because we didn't have a club program, intramural soccer was once a week, and it was super whack, just not very competitive, for the first little bit, but needed something to do, needed to stay in shape. So I started lifting weights, decided to kind of stick with it, and I've always been kind of into exercise, and I've always thought the mechanics, like the biomechanics of the human body, are very interesting, and the physics behind sports, activity, athletics. But I didn't realize how much I would like, working out and lifting, and I loved it.
So whenever you first started working out, did you already know, like, dude, I'm gonna get big when you first
Hell
started?
no. No. So when I first started working out, I was probably like everybody else, where I was just clueless in the gym. I was like showing up and I didn't know what was going on. I was just kind of, I'd do a set while I'm like looking around, seeing if anybody was like judging me while I was doing it, like laughing at me or something. But I think when I graduated high school, I was like 150 pounds. And I've been 5'8" since sophomore year of high school, so I was like skin and bones. I mean, like skinny. But no, I didn't know I was gonna be. I didn't know I was gonna blow it up. At least not to the extent that I did. So, yeah, started seeing some progress and just kind of stuck with it. But, I think I knew I wanted to do physical therapy. But I didn't know how much I would enjoy, like, working out in strength conditioning, working with athletes, stuff like that. So that was kind of a cool thing I learned along the way. But, yeah, now I'm, like, addicted to it. Do it all the time, and I'm, doing all sorts of new stuff. But, I'm in the gym pretty much every day doing something. And like today, I work in a gym, still make sure I show up an hour and a half early to work out before I go into work. And then I immediately leave my first job to go to another gym to do my second job. So I'm in the gym like all day. But I love it. It definitely is where I need to be at. I just got to figure out how to make money when I do it. That's the trick.
Dude, so back then, was there just as many videos as there is now for me? Because, you started this, 2012?
2013. Yeah, I was gonna say
that's 6 years.
Like my official start. No, and honestly, so YouTube in general wasn't big back in 2013. Like I know YouTube was there, but it wasn't not like it is now. Like everybody you talk to, no matter who they are, they probably have somebody they watch on YouTube, or at least go to YouTube a couple times a week. But I know when we were in high school, it's like, you might watch like a Dude Perfect video, just because it pops up, on your Facebook. That was back when we used Facebook. It's definitely not like it was today.
Who was the first YouTuber that you started seeing? Like for workout, or you never really looked at videos like that?
Honestly, I don't know. I watch YouTube, but not to the extent a lot of people do. I think Christian Guzman is probably the first one I watched, consistently. Then it was Max Tuning. Then Jeff Nippard. Kyle pulling the man up himself. Jeff is a huge inspiration, actually. If you guys get a chance, you should go check his videos out. So like Christian and Max, awesome dudes, and legitimately they seem genuine guys in the industry. But
this guy started in 2014.
Yeah, Jeff started back in 2014, and that's what it takes. You start early and get ahead of the curve, but. Yeah, Jeff is a cool guy, and everything he does is so scientific and research based, and it's kind of a fresh take on fitness. Where 75% of what we see nowadays is like freaking Instagram models giving random workouts that may or may not actually work, and nutrition advice that they have no business giving, and but Jeff's a cool dude. Yeah, he knows his shit, which is nice to see, because there's a lot of meatheads on Instagram, and I borderline fall into that category where
Callum.
Callum, dude, love Callum Van Moger, but my dude, he's a cool guy, but he doesn't seem like the most intelligent compared to people like Jeff. But yeah, so and that's just kind of like how I got started. I know. Carlos, you're in fitness or CrossFit a little bit. Yeah. That's one thing. I've got friends that love CrossFit, but I just haven't got into it yet. I'm doing a little bit more Olympic style lifting, but it's just one of the. I like the competition component of it, and I think that's what kind of intrigues me. because I'm hyper competitive to a fault. Love competition, but I, you know, I have a tendency to get pretty heated over anything. Cards, board games, especially sports. But yeah, but that's why CrossFit would be cool. I think. Did you go to you had tickets to go to CrossFit? You had tickets. You had tickets to go to the CrossFit games and didn't go. Who knows? Maybe we'll compete in it one year.
Yeah. So whenever you're like, maybe not now, but in the beginning, and you went to the gym, and there was somebody else in there lifting, almost close as to what you were lifting. Did that make you competitive? That you would see another guy and be all right.
I'm gonna give you all the honest to God truth about fitness. So, I preach it too. I preach you should never like try to compete or look like a certain person, because it's not a good goal to have, and you should always be, body positive and just move forwards from where you're at and yada yada yada. But as far as strength is concerned, there is a huge. I don't want to say it's just like a obviously known competition in the gym, but when you're in there lifting, if you're throwing up the 90s for 8 reps and somebody walks up right after you and throws up the 95s for 10, you gotta go up to the hundreds. I mean, they're like you either do that or he bitched you like 100%. But I think that was part of it for me, where I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to see those improvements in strength, because I felt, it was cool to see people lift a lot of heavy weight, but it was also very humbling, to feel pretty fit and athletic and in shape. And then, I'm doing like 35-pound dumbbells on flat bench, and a guy next to me is doing like the 110s for more reps, and it's like, damn, like, I know I can be there, but I'm so far away, and I think that was part of it. I got, competitive, and I wanted to see myself grow and improve. But as far as like the physique, I never have felt pressure to look a certain way, but strength definitely. Yeah, if I'm in the gym and you're like, we're both doing deadlifts, and you put 10 more pounds on the bar, I'm putting 20. Right? Like that's just how it is, and it's just something for me. It's not for everybody, but for me personally, that's just kind of how it is, and it's good and bad. You should never ego lift, but it does it keeps me kind of moving forwards, and depending on what gym you're at, I think that's a big thing, is what gym you go to, because I know at First Health it's like I'm a big fish in a little pond, where like I'm a pretty strong dude. Worked out for 8 years, so I'm like ahead of the curve for most that lift at that gym. But I'm nowhere close to, some of these guys that are out there. Yeah. And I think that's part of it too. Is if I went to a gym in Wilmington or Raleigh, California, Venice Beach, like I'd be the smallest dude walking in. Yeah. So it's all about where you're at, and what. Just kind of your mindset, where it's cool to be a strong guy, but at the same time, like, you're never going to be the strongest guy on the planet. And obviously if you are, you've been competing for 20 odd years.
Dude, I think it's good that you're there, because there's people that go in there and actually feel motivated to see somebody that looks fit. Like, I don't want to talk crap about anyone, but yeah. Sometimes you go to a gym and there's a guy that's the fitness coach and does not look fit. Yeah. Like, you don't want to take advice from a guy that's 50 pounds heavier than you, and you're already pretty heavy.
Yeah, I think so, because that's one thing I've had to learn, because I fell in that category where at first I was small, and I would take advice from anybody that was bigger than me, like anybody bigger than me. And then I started getting bigger myself, and I realized I don't know as much as I wish I knew to be as big as I was. So like, people would walk around, dude, like, you blew up, what's the secret? Yada, and the best answer I give them was just like, eat more food and work out more. And I didn't have anything more like science based than that. It's just like, dude, I just ate a lot of food and chicken and rice and pasta, and I worked out every day. And so there's some validity to, like, a fitness coach should look a certain way, and I think they should practice what they preach for sure, 100%. But I do know that someone like myself, there's still so much for me to learn, even though I look like I should know it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's people out there that are kind of the opposite, where they might have started at a different point, and they might know a lot more than I do about nutrition, but just not have that package, that physique package that I do currently. And so there's a lot to be said about just the give and take of fitness, and you have to understand that everybody has something they can you can take away from them to some degree, even if it's just like a psychological component from a conversation, something you can pick up and learn. But no matter what somebody looks like, you should not take them for their word, unless you trust them, and they've like proven themselves to be trustworthy. Because even people on YouTube and the internet, like I look like this, and I could tell you, I could just spout off some bullshit, and 20 people on Instagram might see it and believe it. And then they go forwards telling them.
We should try that.
Yeah. Well, I did a little quiz today on my Instagram, and it was just like, what muscle is not a part of the arm, and I was surprised at how many people got it right, because it was a tough question the way I worded it, but I was also surprised just the number of people that answered in certain ways, and that just, I guess it goes to show me that I am more knowledgeable in my field specifically than the average individual, but it also goes to show me there's a lot that people can learn, about fitness and in general, and it's, like, you don't need to know all the muscles of the body or the arm, whatever, but, it's very easy to throw out random stuff and get people to latch onto it, so just be careful, because half the stuff you see on Instagram is fake. Just do me a favor. Everybody listen to this, because I could talk about this for an hour. Do me a favor. Next time you have somebody on fitness, and I assume because you're watching this or listening to this, you're interested in exercise in some way. If not, you're a loyal one. I appreciate you. But if you do, whoever that Instagram model person is that you follow, or YouTuber, go and look through their stuff, and I guarantee you, I can almost guarantee it, there will be posts about how dedicated you have to be, and it's not easy to be motivated, and XYZ, and they're grinding. And then about a week later, they'll make a post and it'll say, really been off my game, hadn't been to the gym in like a month. And it happens every time, dude. And it's so frustrating, because I hate that people put stuff out there like you have to be in the gym every day to get a certain way or look a certain way. And like, the reality is you can just exercise 3-4 times a week, eat better, and you'll see, like, you'll look better. I mean, that's it. Like, there's no like secret pill. There's no science. You don't have to fucking grind for 2 hours every day. Like, it's such BS that's shoveled to the masses, and it almost makes you feel like you can't do it, but it's very easy to achieve. Make 45 minutes to an hour 4 times a week, and make sure when you're in the gym you're working hard. Give it 2-3 months, and you'll see legitimate results. Guarantee it. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, that's how I started. I was back a year ago. I used to drink a lot. A lot.
Used to.
Yeah, no, I cut down way much. And healthy, eating healthy. I don't even know what eating healthy meant. Like, it was just, I was hungry, so I'd eat. I'd stop anywhere I wanted to. Chinese food every other day.
Hey.
I
can't fault you for that one.
Yeah, and then I just decided to make that change. Be like, all right, start working out. I had always been into CrossFit, so I'm like, I'm gonna try some of those things. Let's see dude, it'll kick your butt, man.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, the first week, I was sore, like everything hurt.
Yeah.
Everything hurt, but I just pushed through it. I just pushed through that little sore. I feel most people quit though.
Yeah. Well,
once they feel that.
But see, that feeling you get, like, not necessarily after you work out, because nobody wants to be sore and like kind of feel like but that like feeling you get of being productive, or, and it's not necessarily with the soreness, but like you leave the gym and you just feel like man, I got better today. Mm-hmm. Like that's an addictive feeling. Yeah. But then also when you start seeing progress, where that 200-pound squat you couldn't get it, and now you're hitting it for 3 reps like that. That is the stuff that just like drives me to just like an obsessive degree where it's not even I'm all over the place with like exercise these days. I'm boxing, playing volleyball, playing basketball, working out, bodybuilding, strength training, but just whatever I'm doing, I'm just trying to improve slowly but surely, and it's just fun to see yourself get better at things. And that's what and it just makes you feel productive, and it just makes you feel good about yourself. And that's where a lot of people wait till they're 65, 70 and can't walk, and they're paying thousands of dollars in medications and medical bills and surgeries, and that's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna like look like this at 70, but my grandpa and my dad are huge inspirations as far as fitness goes, and they've always been in pretty good shape, but they're able, and my dad's 50-ish. Hopefully you're not listening to this and don't know how old you are, 50-ish. But he's definitely a little bit older, but still very athletic and able to do a lot in sports. My grandpa's, the same way. He's very old, but you'd never know it. He plays ping pong competitively, and like that, it's like an old person sport. It seems like, but dude, he's legitimately good at ping pong, and pretty athletic guy, good hand-eye coordination, decent at ping pong, and he smacks me like 11-0. I mean, like good at ping pong. It's cool. He did Ironmans, and so he's definitely an inspiration. But I don't want to be reliant on people ever. I feel like mental health is obviously very important, but so is physical health to the degree that if I am at any point in life a burden on the people I'm living with, or a financial burden because I haven't taken care of myself, or when I have kids, am I going to be there to see them grow up and do these things? Because I don't want to be one of those grandparents that passes away early because of some condition, because I was overweight, or my clogged arteries or something. So fitness is just more than looking good for Instagram and the vanity of it. It's legitimately just a way to stay healthy, live longer, live better. And that's kind of the goal, I think, for me. It should be for most.
Was there ever a point, like, in these years where you were like, this is pretty tiring?
No, honestly, so I don't think there's ever been, since I started in 2013, where I've taken more than 2 or 3 days off outside of family vacation, or I was out of town, I just couldn't. I even went on a bachelor's trip in April, and I woke up every morning and I went to the gym in Daytona, Florida. I drove a rental van 10 minutes down the road to an Anytime Fitness and worked out in the mornings while everyone else slept in. And that's just I legitimately love it. It's not like I'm not fueled by some desire to be bigger or faster or stronger. I legitimately just love exerting myself and challenging myself with everything, no matter what it is. If I have to do push-ups for a workout, then I'll just do push-ups and I'll do 1,000 of them. So that's just the mindset where it's I don't care what I'm doing, I just love exercise. I don't love to run, but if I have to run, running it is. So it's it's just kind of the approach, and I feel like if you have to be motivated to get in the gym, then it's very easy to be demotivated. Yeah. Because life happens, and stuff gets hard, and as soon as that stuff gets hard, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to stop going to the gym. And that's what you see from most people. That's not a bad thing, because for most people the gym isn't priority number one. But stop exercising for 2 or 3 months at a time, that's an issue. Mm-hmm. So taking a week or two off, that's totally okay. But just for me, I love it. Never felt like I wanted to stop or quit, or I'd go if I could handle it and I had the time, I'd go even more than I do now. So yeah, I don't know, man. So when you work out, because it's interesting just that we have like different mindsets about it. Like when you work out, are you there just to like get the reps in, or like do you always have goals when you go in the gym? Because I know I show up and I've done it enough to where I just kind of figure it out as I go, and I'm making up the exercises as I go. Like you have stuff planned out, or is it just doing whatever feels good? Like
no, I go in there and have my little sticky notes at work.
Okay.
And I fill them out with workouts that I'm gonna do. Like, and then Adi comes home and then she finds all these sticky notes all over the place that I have written down
and on the
my
walls.
things. And mostly, I like to look at Instagram and look at the people doing stuff.
Yeah.
I see your videos posting. Oh, today I'm gonna do back, and it's like, hey, we landed on the same day that I'm gonna do back. So I look at your things, and I'm like, okay, so I can try these.
Yeah.
And then I do that, and but I don't really have a goal. I guess the main thing is that I don't, like you said, like I don't want to grow up and not be able to do something.
Yeah.
Because I was finding myself being tired of just walking.
Yeah.
Like I used to smoke cigarettes back in the day.
Yeah.
Like I used to be a cigarette smoker. I quit that completely. Every now and then I'll have one, but not how I used to. I used to smoke like a pack a day. And like I went to play soccer. I almost died out there, or at least I felt like I was. Like couldn't breathe, and then that's when I said no. Like imagine if I ever had to run away from something, from someone. Right. What if Adi one day got hurt? We like hiking. We go out hiking and she gets hurt, and I had to carry her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
R.I.P. bro.
She
getting left.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Like if you think about some real stuff, like what if we do go to war?
Yeah.
And it's hell here. What if they come to Fort Bragg and try to be Fort Bragg? Like we gotta take that one out first.
I'm getting my car. I don't know why you run it.
Because
when you're running, I'm driving.
What if they close down the streets though? Like have you seen The Walking Dead? And like all the cars are like in one lane trying to get out.
So I'm glad you brought that up. When we were evacuating, when they were evacuating at the beach, they closed down. I don't remember what beach it was, but they closed down one of the roads on the highway. So it was 8 lanes going out. And I was like, dude, that's gotta be reminiscent of like the Walking Dead scene.
Yeah.
Everybody's like trying to leave Atlanta or wherever it was. That'd be wild.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like, and what if you had to walk? And you can't, imagine if you were a big guy.
I'm just gonna throw it out there, though. If we have a zombie apocalypse, Sanford might be a pretty safe place.
You think so?
With all the freaking lunatics with guns we have here.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I feel like Sanford might be pretty safe. I have like a list of, if this apocalypse ever goes down, make sure you have the list. I have a list of people that I'm checking up on and checking in with because I know that they're going to survive. So I want to be with them. And, so that's something to think about. Yeah,
I don't see my little light blinking.
Uh-oh.
Are you kidding me?
Did it die?
Did this thing die on us again? There's no way that it did.
I wonder if the chargers didn't.
It's charging. It's at 86%.
I guess it just turned on. I wonder what the last conversation was.
I don't know. We'll just keep on going. This time, we're gonna put it on this time.
We'll just put
I don't care what we do.
Yeah,
we'll put a picture on there of us just sitting,
right.
and then they can just follow.
Yeah, it is.
No, this one is going up.
It is what it is. All right, we'll just get into it. We'll transition. So,
Apocalypse.
Yeah. Wait. See, but if they didn't hear the beginning of it, it's just we're gonna go from talking about fitness to zombies.
But it was recording here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
right. Cool.
The voice is there.
Gotcha.
There's gonna be a picture on there.
Yeah. Well, there's my my ignorance when it comes to video and recordings coming through. So, anyways, back to the apocalypse. Sanford's going to be pretty safe. I think places like Broadway where land is spread out and larger, I think that's a safe place. But I think if you think about going anywhere outside of Sanford, Fayetteville's going to be worse because it's more populated. Raleigh's going to be awful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Raleigh's, you get out of Raleigh if zombies start popping up. Cary's bad. Holly Springs, Apex area, depending on where you go, might be okay. But I think Sanford's I just feel like we can't go anywhere else. Can't go south, north, east, west. I mean, you're you're just kind of like praying that shit works out. But.
Dude, if zombies were to happen, what do you think that they would be like? They would be like Dawn of the Dead zombies or the Walking Dead zombies?
I don't know. I'm not convinced that. So I'm not convinced that zombies would just prey on like human beings. Like if zombies came back, I think. I don't know. I'm thinking they're more like Walking Dead zombies, where they're pretty slow, less intimidating, but they travel in like hordes. But I mean, imagine like in order to be like, you seen World War Z?
Yeah.
With like Brad Pitt, or in order to be like that, it would have to be like a virus, and I think that's how they explained it in that movie.
Yeah.
But like if something was dead, deteriorated completely, muscle mass is gone, brain deteriorates also. Like there's no way they can move that fast or even think. So it's like they just kind of be walking around aimlessly.
Yeah. But in the beginning, they like become a zombie in the like first 5-10 minutes. Like in Dawn of the Dead, once they get bitten or scratched, they have like 5 minutes, and then they wake up.
Yeah.
Like and those they like take off, like they start chasing you.
Yeah. I mean, I sure hope they would be slow. Because that would be wild, dude. I don't know, but I mean that's stuff like so this whole stuff with Area 51, and it's just I guess a natural transition here with the aliens. If Area 51 is legitimate, and I'm not convinced that it is. I think aliens and extraterrestrial life has probably popped up on Earth before, potentially, and the government's hiding it. But I think it would be interesting to see what all the government has, about life in general. Maybe not even outside of Earth, but just about like on Earth, stuff that might have happened that we just don't know about, or like things like zombies that I wonder if they've experimented, because the government does some wild stuff. I would be surprised if they haven't experimented to see if they couldn't make like an army of the dead to like fight in case we couldn't send troops. You know what I mean? Like that's just something weird, but like I mean, I could see it happen. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something I don't get from people that want to raid it. Like, what did do they really expect to find like an alien in there, or?
No, here's the thing. Most people know it's a joke, but especially with the government, as soon as somebody said Area 51 has aliens, the government packed everything up that might be alien related, hauled it off somewhere else, like immediately. But anybody that's going to raid, and I think that's soon, isn't it? Isn't that supposed to happen in September?
September.
It's like 2 weeks from now.
September.
It's like 21st. I'll have to join in on that. To go get in on that raid. Government's going to shoot anybody that steps on a... I mean, it's like people going to Fort Bragg. You can't just you can't run into Fort Bragg without the correct certifications and stuff. Or license or whatever you might need.
They're calling it alien stock.
Alien stock. Yeah, they ain't gonna, there's nothing there, but there's no way the government lets that happen. I doubt anybody even shows up.
So it doesn't really say. They're having like a concert on the 20th to the 22nd in Rachel, Nevada.
Is that like right next to it or something?
Yep. This extraterrestrial theme music festival. And that's what they're gonna be called as alien style.
I don't know if you could pay me enough money to go to an extraterrestrial themed concert. I feel like that's gonna be a lot of EDM style of music that I'm just not getting down with.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, I'll pass. That's a hell of a drive out to Nevada, anyways.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna attend. Sorry, people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to get back on track here, back into our fitness. I'm not even sure how we got into zombies, but back into fitness. We'll talk a little bit about CrossFit and bodybuilding and strength training and kind of the difference between all three. And I'll let Carlos talk about the CrossFit, but bodybuilding, for those of you out there that don't follow anything, but bodybuilding is literally just a style of training to make you look. It's all about the appearance, the physique at the end. So they could care less about how much weight you lift, how powerful you are, how strong you are. It's all about how you look, and that's where steroids have become like rampant in the fitness community. And it's kind of another conversation to be had about steroids, man. It's like, there's so much that goes on. Even on YouTube, there's people like that compete and they're openly abusing steroids, and it's like the whole idea of fitness for me, is to be a healthier version of yourself. So competing in bodybuilding where you're abusing steroids, which is gonna shorten your lifespan potentially and most definitely have consequences, that just doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like people give CrossFit a hard time for being dumb and stupid and injury prone, but then you look at bodybuilding, which is the most popular of any style of lifting, and people are abusing steroids, and it's like there's a huge double standard there where it's CrossFit's judged by the type of exercise, but everybody's okay with the fact that bodybuilders take tons of steroids just to look a certain way and please certain people. And I guess maybe it's just my mindset now, but if you don't like the way I look, then fuck you. I don't know, man. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, and that's how it is. Just it's how it's always been. I mean, I look the way I want to look, and that's the reality. I got very few people I need to please outside of myself, and if you don't make the short list, then you can catch the middle finger on the way out. And I mean, that's so I feel like fitness in general has become so vain, and everybody cares about what other people think, and you should have a physique that makes me feel good about you. And even on Instagram you see professional powerlifters like Stephanie Cohen. This if you don't know who that is, a really popular powerlifter, and she's bigger than most dudes for sure. She's a monster, and she's short. She's a monster, and super strong. And every single post she puts up, there's people in her comment section just blowing it up, you look so gross, and I can't believe you would look that way. That's nasty. And it's like, dude, she didn't look that way for you. Like the Olympic gymnasts, and they'll get people that talk down to them because they have muscles and six-pack abs, and it's like, dude, they just won a gold medal at the Olympics. Their body is literally just designed, developed to be better at that sport, and that's how she is.
Yeah. If you want to look her up, it's at Steffi, STEFICOHEN.
Yeah. And I guarantee you your first thought when you look her up is going to be like,
she looks manly.
Damn, she's manly.
She looks manly.
Damn, she's manly. But
yeah.
she wants to look that way, and it makes her better at what she does. And she's the best at what she does. So
does two of my legs.
You have to respect her for that. And it's you don't have to like the way she looks, but you got to respect the way she looks.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a lot of people just don't understand that. And that's where if it was a guy that looked like that, they'd be commenting like, dude, so jealous, you got to show me the secrets.
Yeah.
But because it's a girl, their manhood is put into question, and it's, God forbid the girl have bigger legs than you do. And
dude, that's funny. So whenever we started working out with Adi wanted to do everything. So everything that I was doing, she was doing.
Yeah.
And all of the videos that I would look up for her, it's like how to grow a butt. How to grow a butt.
Yes.
Glute.
Yeah.
Butt. Glute.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I was like, that's so dumb, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why don't they show how to strengthen your arms?
Because, well, so there's a couple ways you can approach it, because that frustrates me too, but they're appealing to the masses. So the same way, like, media companies aren't going to show local feel-good stories, it's because they don't get attention like Trump does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're going to show the stuff that gets all the attention. And for females, you could be born with great genetics, good legs, nice butt, and you could just blow up overnight in fitness. I mean, overnight, because of the way you look in leggings. And a lot of that's because we want to look like that girl. And so what they do is they feed on that, or they prey on that, and they'll post video. I mean, that's the same thing as me. If I were to go through and post like only arm videos, and it's like, we know guys want to have bigger arms or bigger chests, but all it does is it just fits one demographic perfectly well. And honestly, if a girl puts up a video and it said like, butt day or glute day or whatever, girls are gonna watch it for the information. Guys are watching that shit too.
Yeah.
Because they want to see.
They want to see the butt.
Yeah. So it's like,
they want to see that butt.
You can't blame them, but at the same time, it really waters down what the industry should be, because it should be more than just like legs for girls, and it should be more than upper body for guys. And I have that conversation all the time at the gym. How guys come in and I've been there for 2 months now, or maybe a little bit longer, and there's some guys that work out there almost every day. I still haven't seen hit legs. Yeah. So and it's like, if you go to the gym and you feel like you're being judged, that is not your problem. That's somebody else's problem. So like, if you got a problem with me doing glute exercises because I'm a guy, whatever. I mean, I could care less, because I look how I look because I'm committed to training everything. And that's that's one thing you'll see too, is hop on those Instagram comments under Steffi Cohen and check out the people who are dropping those comments, and they're going to be maybe 125 pounds soaking wet, or 400 pounds, and and it's like, it just doesn't make sense for us to judge anybody when we all have our own faults and we all have our own preferences and opinions, and like, just let people do them. And if it's I'll give you the best direction I can, but if you want to hit all upper body, that's fine, but don't preach that you're a fitness guru. Don't preach that you're something you're not. Just do your own thing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's got to be frustrating, especially for her, because it's and even my all-time favorite, I think, and I had a guy do it today. He walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, William, I've seen you here a couple times, and God, it makes you laugh." So anyway, he said, "I've seen you a couple times, and I'm trying to get a little bit more tone and work out. I just, I want to know what I should do." And I was like, "Well, what have you been doing?" I give him some advice, and I was like, "Well, why don't we do like 2 to 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps, on these machines?" And he was like, "Well, I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't want to get too big." I swear to God, came out of my man's mouth, and it was just like, I almost laughed. I almost laughed in his face. Not to be rude, but just because it was just very funny. But people have this idea that you understand that it takes so much time. And like, dude, it takes so much time to get big and grow muscle, and my man was like feeling like he was gonna get swole on a workout and a half. Dude, it was so funny. It was so funny. And it's those same people, they'll message me like, "Man, I wanna look like that. I'm gonna get committed and this and that." And I send them some programs. It's like, "Well, I don't really want to get too big," and it's like, dude, you'd have to work out for years. I mean, like, trust me, it's not like you're gonna wake up tomorrow and be like fucking shredded. Like, and that's what. It's just funny because I know people understand that, but just when they talk to me, the very first thing, and I guess because they just don't want to look like me, and that's fine, but it's like, I don't want to get too big, and it's like, what? All right, okay.
Dude, but that's social media, man. Like you go on there and then you just see these guys that are already there.
Mm.
You know, so but you don't see the beginning though. Like dude, like I knew you when you were, you know, in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I know that it's not just like, hey man, I'm gonna start working out for a month and I'm gonna probably get there. Like, dude, there's no way.
Yeah, and I think that's what, you know, a lot of people don't realize, but you know, especially when I went to college, I looked a certain way when I went, and then I gained like 50 pounds, and I stayed about the same percent body fat, so I was putting on pretty good muscle, and you know, came back home, and you know, people wouldn't recognize me hardly. It's like, dude, you know, you blew up, and but it's like, it wasn't a 2-week decision. It wasn't like, I'm gonna work out. I think I want to, you know, I think I want to be pretty ripped. It was like a 5-year dedication in the gym where, you know, you might not see that. And that was before I had Instagram, and, you know, before I was doing the fitness thing on social media. But you know, I was in there every day before social media, because that's the people that are legitimate, that have what it takes and are doing what they need to do. Those are the people that you take away social media, and they're still going to be in the gym every day.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing for me, because I think half the people in the market now, if you were to take out social media and the money that you could make from it, then I would say 50% or more fall off of fitness exercise in general, just right away. Mm-hmm. When you take away YouTube, you take away, or just the money making component of YouTube, you take away, you know, sponsorships, you take away sup reps, and then all of a sudden the only people that are left are people that just really love, you know, the actual idea of health, fitness, you know, exercise. And that would be interesting to see, you know, what would happen if Instagram shut down for a week. Would the Instagram model still work out, or would they just chill at home? So, not me. I could never. I could never.
Dude, but how did you come up with or not come up with, but like, to do a workout? Like, let's say that you wanted to hit chest. Did you just know what workouts to do, or was there like you went online and like, let me see how to hit it better?
Yeah. Don't Google that. Don't Google that. Don't Google that.
Hey man, sometimes you need to, man. That's your cardio right there. That's your cardio.
Let me learn how to hit it better. Yeah. No, so when I first, a lot of it is learning as you go, and you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's an art and a skill set where people with like a growth mindset are okay not knowing what's going on, because they're gonna know, you know, next week. Like I'm okay getting in the gym and trying new things, because I'm gonna get better at it, and I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna learn what's going on. And I'll just work. It might have just like 15 minutes at a time.
I don't know why it's doing that.
It's probably that auto cut off feature. Oh, the mics are still on though, so we could just keep on keeping on. All right, yeah. So I don't even remember what I was just talking about.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Film it. We should have a camera behind us also, so we can videotape all the.
So apparently, when the GoPro gets too hot, it stops recording.
Makes sense.
So GoPro, how about looking into that?
We've had a time with the GoPro. We've had a freaking time. We shot a podcast already, which eventually hopefully we'll redo or you know, just throw up or whatever. But
Are you not recording again? Oh no, yeah, it's recording.
But yeah, we've shot one before, and it just seems like the GoPro itself, it's nice, and I love my GoPro, but man, it's finicky. It just seems like it's been hooking up the mics with the computer and then running the GoPro. It's all just a mess. But
you know, it's funny, whenever you search how to start your first podcast, all of them say that it's really easy. They say, hey man, it's really easy. All you have to do is have a camera And
That's
no.
probably the same company that's selling the camera, and
Yeah.
selling the microphone.
It's-
They're like, yeah, it's a piece of cake. Just
Yeah.
drop $500 on this and that, and this and that.
Mhm.
No problem. But yeah, so back to our what to hit in the gym. I think a lot of times people could learn and grow from just being okay, not being the most knowledgeable, or allowing themselves to be uncomfortable. I actually read something on Instagram yesterday, and it's super cheesy, but it says, it's like a quote: "The man who asks a question is an idiot for a minute. The man who doesn't ask the question is an idiot for a lifetime." And that's like, I don't know, for some reason it just stuck with me. And I really, honestly, I've been thinking about it for 2 days and how it just applies to everything. And there's 10 different things on a day-to-day basis where we could probably ask a question and we just don't, because we just want to see if we can figure it out. And, so I just ask more questions and be okay not knowing. And, you never want to hurt yourself. And I don't go try to max out on squats without knowing how to squat. But, it's okay to go in the gym and be a newbie and not know what's going on, because we were all first day goers in the gym at some point, and I think I started in college where it was a little bit easier for me because I knew everybody there was kind of on the same. There's a lot of people just starting and they were all kind of my age and same kind of environment. So it was a little bit easier, but you just have to be okay not being the best at something, and then one day you can be eventually. But I actually use Instagram a lot to look up workouts, and I even still do all the time, because there's certain people that'll post really good stuff, and I learn a ton from social media, and Instagram's probably my favorite social media site. And it's because I can post my content, and I feel like I'm helping people, but it's also a great learning tool for anything exercise, fitness, health, wellness, because there's a lot of people that post pretty regularly, and it's not just like shirtless pictures, shirtless selfies in a mirror. It's, like physical therapists that are posting legitimate content about some type of fix for a common problem. And so I do take stuff I see on social media and apply it. But yeah, I mean, at one point I was just that dude that had no idea what was going on. I was just in there doing stuff, and that's what it takes. And that's where I did a CrossFit workout one time. I went to Raleigh, and great gym. And I had a buddy that flew in, one of my best friends flew in from Florida, and he's huge into CrossFit, and so he's obviously better at the technique than I am, but also just like more fit, kind of in general. And we did the workout, and he definitely outworked me, but it wasn't because of a lack of effort. It was just, CrossFit kicked my ass. And we did a bench and an RDL at the beginning, super easy, smoked it, no problem, boom, strong, feeling good. Then we get to the cardio part, and it was like 30-pound wall balls to regulated height with 20 or 21 kettlebell swings, and CrossFit does them like all the way up. And we were using like 70-pound kettlebells or something, maybe not that heavy, but something crazy heavy at the time. And I don't pace myself very well, because in bodybuilding, strength training, powerlifting, you go all out until you can't do anymore, and then you're done. At CrossFit's not like that. CrossFit, you gotta pace yourself, and if you can do 12, that means you only do 6 at a time, but you do 6 a couple times in a row. And so I was trying to do just literally nonstop action, and I got through one round, maybe 2, and just dead. I went from doing 20 reps to like being able to do 4 or 5, and had to stop. And crazy. What are you trying to do in CrossFit? Are you just trying to get in shape, or do you think one day you'll want to like compete? I
mean, first I want to go to a class and actually see what it's actually like.
Yeah.
But they say it's expensive.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it is, but at the same time, it's a unique experience where like it's a, you know, it is a class number one, so the accountability piece is there. But number two, everything's planned out for you.
Yeah.
Everything's prepped for you. I mean, like, so it's a lot different. Where like first health it's nice because we have the equipment, you know, or most of it that you might need, but you know, showing up and somebody telling you what you're doing, having the clock timed out, the beeper, it's like that's stuff that, you know, would be worth the money.
Yeah.
If you want to compete, you know, and like get good at it.
I mean, I would like to compete. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, I think I can do a little bit more cardio. The only thing is that I can't lift heavy. Like, I'm still kind of struggling on my deadlifts. And they do a lot of deadlifts. Like, they do deadlift ladders.
Yeah.
And, like, snatch ladders, which they keep on going and going and going, you know?
Crazy.
And I mean, I still can't do none of that. But, like, easy stuff. Like, I did one workout the other day, which is an AMRAP. So, as many reps as possible. 8 minute. So, you do 8 wall balls. And then you start with burpees. So, you do 4 burpees. And then you go again, 8 wall balls. Then you do 6 burpees. And so on 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 until your 8 minutes are up.
Oh,
and
wow.
I reached to 16. I was on my 14th burpee in my clock right now. So in CrossFit, they wouldn't count that as a round because you didn't finish your round.
Right.
But dude, I was dead. I mean, I was,
yeah.
You know? And I wish there was other people there. I mean, Adi was there, but, you know, it's not that she quit. But first of all, she doesn't like all the workouts that I do. And she's like, screw burpees. If I tell her we're going to do burpees, she's like, I'm out.
Most people are.
Yeah, they're like, no.
Most people hate burpees, man.
Dude, but I mean, that's killing stuff, dude. And like you kind of think about it and you're like, yeah, I can do that easily, dude. But in your 8th burpee, already you're just like, oh my God, like it's hard, man.
So the last CrossFit workout I did, like the full, you know, workout, I was it was actually at First Health, and it was just kind of something we saw on the internet. There was a couple people that were doing it, but it was a 500 meter row, 12 deadlifts, 10 deadlifts, somewhere in that, you know, just deadlifts, and then 21 box jumps at a right under 3 feet. And, you know, that's not like it's not a crazy height, but it's also not to where I can just like jump up and down. I would jump, really have to ramp up for the next one jumping in. But, yeah, that was, the first round went great. I was feeling pretty good, but as soon as your legs start burning, dude, everything becomes 10 times harder. And then the deadlifts, all of a sudden, you know, I'm like getting shaky. You know, and I was only doing like 225, and I was beltless, which, you know, at 225 for me, that's not going to make a huge difference, but, you know, still it became a much more difficult task. And then the box jumps, man, the last round, I had to break them up into like 3 or 4 jumps at a time and breathe for a couple seconds and then go again. And it's so, there's a mental component. It's almost like self-torture at the end of some of those where your body literally just like cannot go and your brain is just like, don't stop. And so you just don't stop. And I think that's that's probably one of the coolest parts about CrossFit is the mind over matter type of lifestyle or exercise. It's
like
it's
every
cool.
week I try to hit a so it's a little CrossFit workout. I do 400 meter row, and then I do 10 burpees over the rower, over the tall one, not that little one that they have now. So I do it and I do 3 rounds. Whenever I'm feeling good, I do 4 rounds. But dude, that's some killer stuff right there too. So once you're done, I mean, I rest for like a minute. Sometimes a minute and a half, and then I go back to the rower and I go. But once I'm done with the rower, I get off and then I do the burpees right away.
And the rower he's talking about, so like the low one's maybe a foot off the ground, the high one's probably 2 feet.
2 feet.
Yeah. So it's a burpee and a box jump basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that's tough.
So that one time, remember when you saw me and you're like, hey man, that was a pretty quick workout, and I was all sweaty. That's when I did that one,
yeah.
dude. You come
My man
back
looked
down
like
and you're
he
just
forgot
like,
to take his clothes off when he showered.
yeah.
Walked out and just drenched.
Yeah, man. These guys at the CrossFit Games, man, like you just see them and they're like in so much pain when they're done, and then like 3 hours later they have to go and do their next event.
Yeah, see, there's an intrigue to me about CrossFit from like the real basic, you know, level of just the competitive nature, and it's like a games event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's awesome. I think that's why powerlifting was, you know, pretty fun for me, just because you're competing against people, and it's like whoever could just literally lift the most weight wins. I mean, it's very simple, but it's very hardcore, and that's where like the bodybuilding has lost appeal to me, because it's you know, you winning in bodybuilding is based solely on the day, you know, not necessarily who has the best physique, but who dials in the best for competition, who's on the most steroids, in a lot of, you know, in a lot of cases, who knows the judges, which judges prefer which physique, you know, what they're looking for on that day. It's all like, just, it's never the same. It's never uniform. Where at CrossFit, you know, the exercises are always different, the workouts are always different, but you win if you have the best, if you're the best. You know, powerlifting, you win if you're the best. Strongman, you win if you're the best. Bodybuilding, you win if the judges say you win.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it's like, sometimes the best physique doesn't win, and it's the best physique is always opinion related. So like, you know, I might obviously be biased towards some, but you know, in some cases, and I don't watch many, but like the Olympia, I kind of pay attention to every year.
Isn't that one coming up?
Mm-hmm. Very soon, yeah. It's like less than 2 months away.
2 months.
2 months away. I think it's early November. Yeah, let's look that up. If I had to guess, I would say 8 weeks ish.
What is it, Mr. Olympia?
Yeah, Mr. Olympia. It'll pop up for sure. For sure.
Mr. Olympia.
It's the big one.
September 15th.
Oh dang! That's this week.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, I guess I was a little off at 8 weeks. What I meant to say was 8 days. No, that's this week. So yeah, we'll have to make a podcast. We'll do some like reviews, and that's one thing I want to do too. We'll have to keep that in mind. We'll do some like reviews of stuff, like movies, shows, all different types of stuff.
I don't know none of these people.
Yeah. So let's see. Men's Open competitors: William Bonac, good. Max Charles, I don't know. Brandon Curry, I've heard of. He had a pretty solid physique last year. Phil Heath, obviously. Honestly, I haven't seen Phil Heath at all, so I don't know what he's looking like right now. But he's known as the gift. He's obviously pretty impressive. Dexter Jackson, obviously pretty solid, and he won last year. Didn't he? 20.
Who?
Mr. Olympia winner. Oh, Roden won last year. That's right. Sean Roden down at the very bottom.
Dude, most of them are from the USA.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about men's physique too, or at least the open division, a lot of them are like under like 5'9", where these guys are packing almost 300 pounds of weight on this frame. Like Phil Heath is like 5'8", 5'9". Look that up. See how tall is Phil Heath? Just a quick Google. And because I'm pretty sure he's pretty short. So my man sits like 285 pounds pre-show, and he might shred down to like 240, 250. Yep.
5'9".
5'9".
Kyle Green is 5'8".
5'8". Dude, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler is massive, and he's only 5'10". Ronnie Coleman looked huge, only 5'11". I think the tallest guy in the game is I don't remember his name. He's from Egypt. I didn't see his name on that list. Let's go back to that list real quick. Scroll down.
There was one from Egypt here. Mohammed Shaba.
What does he go by? He goes by like a nickname, and I just don't remember what it is. Muhammad Shaban. We're probably butchering that.
Shaban.
Dude, we're probably butchering that.
Shaban.
There's no way we're saying that right. There's no way.
That's not.
No, that is not him.
Yeah, right there. Well, why did he not pop up?
Because that guy, that guy's a soccer player.
Bodybuilder?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Full name, height. What?
5'9".
No, okay. There's another one from Egypt. It's actually taller. I need to.
Bodybuilders.
Bodybuilders. Yeah.
Bodybuilder.
We're gonna figure this out.
I don't want to search for it.
He was 2017. He was.
Top 4.
This Big Randy right there.
This
Right there.
Oh.
This guy. Big Randy, that's his name. Maybe he's not Egyptian. What's his name?
Yeah, Big Randy.
Big Randy, yeah. But
Mabdu El Sbaya.
yeah, see that I knew he had a nickname, but dude,
Mamdou.
yeah, see how tall is Big Randy? Because it'll pop up.
Els.
Yeah, dude, just go Big Randy, it'll pop up.
There it is.
5'10". What? Dude, what's crazy is he looks so big compared to all these other guys on stage. And he's only 5'10". That's insane.
Dude, is that real? That's
No,
Photoshop
that's
right
fake.
there.
Yeah, that's fake. That's fake.
I was about to say, dude, that was so gross.
Oh, I wish I could see on computer. No, that's definitely not real. Yeah, that's real though.
That's real right there?
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, it's insane. Those guys look insane. But again, it's like they're so packed full of steroids. And again, that's the look they want. You know, that's what they're going for. They're trying to win something. I get it. But it's just not what falls into my, own personal preference for fitness. And that's where, yeah, no, dude, it's insane. Yeah, he's
like it goes all the way up to his neck.
yeah. Well, I mean, your upper traps do insert there, but
But
to be able to see it, yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Oh my
I could never. I could never. And can you imagine walking through doorways looking like that?
I know.
I mean, you'd have to like literally turn sideways just to. You couldn't fit in a car comfortably. I mean, you'd have to buy special clothes. That would be miserable.
How flexible do you think they are?
Literally zero. Their flexibility is negative. Like it has to be. If
you think they can wipe their ass?
If you, I would hope so. If I ever got to be so big to where I couldn't wipe my own butt, I would have to immediately stop working out. Like that would be the point for me. Like I'm just gonna do cardio only from now on.
Maybe they wipe under like this.
Yeah, oh god, dude! If they go under, they might have to. Because they're so big. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Look that up. How do
bodybuilders?
I guarantee you there's some information on that. Wipe their ass. Because not that I definitely don't want to see a video. Make sure you're not on YouTube.
Their ass. Can bodybuilders wipe their ass?
Oh my god, dude. Video might be
I
inappropriate.
understand, and I wish to proceed.
Well, I hope we're gonna have to clear the history. Kali Muscle.
What y'all doing in the bathroom?
Dude, this guy's
I'm
fucking
taking a
crazy.
doo-doo.
This guy's crazy.
I'm taking a doo-doo. So all y'all that asked me if I can wipe my ass, hold on.
Oh my god! Yeah, my man's taking a dump
Oh, there you go.
on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, they do two working.
Okay, come on, you gonna get to it?
That's right.
Longest dump of all time.
Oh.
KaliMuscle.com.
I can guarantee you, he's gonna wipe it and show the camera.
Let's see.
I guarantee.
He can actually reach.
But see, the crazy part is he's not even
That big.
half
So
as
as you
big.
guys see, I can wipe my.
So
He's not even half as big as those guys on stage, but yeah, he can definitely wipe his
He
own
can
butt.
wipe
That's
his
impressive. Good for them. Good for him.
Yes,
I'm proud of that guy. Let's see what the internet thinks. Internet warriors and trolls. What is-
dusted with creatine so they can maintain gains in their butt.
they don't. It all depends on reach.
Many of them perform a lot of routines that require them to stay extremely physical.
Yeah,
I
so
wonder how
So,
true
like,
that is, though.
well, so Kai Green, he goes through a stretching routine every day before he trains, and there is like a huge, wellness component to bodybuilding. In order to stay healthy for them, they get massages like every
Yeah.
day. Which
This one said, with smaller and weaker people from the gym.
yes, they wipe their ass with small people, yeah. But yeah, so like they'll stretch and warm up before every single session, but it's not a matter of flexibility. It's more just they have so much muscle. I know a lot of them. There's videos all over the place of people putting stuff on their backs and
To see they try
you like can't reach it, and so like mobility is restricted at a point where the muscle becomes so large for your frame it becomes an issue. But yeah, that's interesting. I guess I assume they can, but
Yeah.
I'm sure some of
Maybe
them
it's
have trouble.
harder
I'm
for
sure some of
others.
them have trouble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure. That's the point for me. I'm cutting it off. It's cardio only from that point on in the gym. If I'm having a hard time wiping my own butt. Treated bodybuilders have these specials.
Special sticks.
Dude, it's, people will believe anything.
Yeah.
You have to use a special stick to wipe your own. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start letting people know at the gym, like, yeah, man, being big's great. Yeah, I can't wipe my own ass.
Can't wipe my own ass sometimes.
Can't wipe my own ass. Gotta grab a towel and do the little shimmy technique. No.
You had to use them special toilets from Japan.
Yeah, the bidet.
Yeah.
God.
Little squirt.
Speaking of water spray now, and so we're at work the other day, and I'm checking the pool chemicals, and it's called backwashing in the pool, and it basically just cleans out like the pipes, and just one of the staff members was doing it, and I'd never seen it done before, so I asked her, was like, hey, I'm gonna check it out. So I walked back there with her, and she's walking me through all the steps, and there's a decent amount of stuff that's going on. And at the very end, so at first you have to, in order to backwash, you have to reverse the flow of the water through the pipes. Then we switch it back to where it's flowing normally. So in order for that to take place and not be an issue, you have to relieve pressure in this valve. Well, I'm just like kind of standing in the middle of the room, and she says, all right, yeah, now we have to relieve this pressure. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So she starts turning this thing, and it starts hissing. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this huge water stream, legitimately just right at my face. Like, I shit you not, we could not have planned this any better. I'm just standing, like, just kind of watching what she's doing, like, trying to see the valve, and then all of a sudden, water is spraying right at me. It hits me from the face all the way down, and it was just a split second.
Yeah.
And so it hits me, and I don't really react at first, and then it clicks in my brain, damn, this water's from the hot tub. This is about to be hot. So then I freak out. So it hits me, and then a split second goes by, and then I sort of take off running. She cracked out laughing. I just still giving her a hard time every day, but it was just funny. She knew it was gonna squirt out, but didn't let me know. But it was hilarious. It's hilarious. And I not that that's relevant to the bidet conversation, but yeah, it just made me think of it, because it's like I guess it was the last thing I expected, but the other valves I have it set up to shoot like towards the wall, but this one I was just standing literally in just a random spot in the room, and it just sprays out, hits me right in the face. Like, you could not have planned it any better. It was legitimately hilarious. I wish we had a video of it, because I'd like to watch that one. I'd have to post that on YouTube for sure. But all right, yeah. Well, I think it's about that time. I think we'll wrap her up.
Yeah.
So what we'll do moving forwards, because I know we kind of have our own ideas. We'll
Did this thing die on us again?
oh, you're right. Oh well.
We can finish it off.
Well, I wonder if it's not the heat though. If it's, just a.
Well, it does feel a little bit hot.
We'll have to look that up. I'm gonna give GoPro a call. Let them know. So what we'll do moving forwards is just kind of take suggestions from everywhere, and let that kind of mold who we bring on, because I definitely, and I think we both do, want to bring on guests that are not similar to ourselves, to where we can, kind of get some fresh ideas, takes on all different types of stuff: sports, video games, movies, conspiracy theories, politics, all that stuff. So we'll bring on as many people as we can find, and all sorts of people that are not just again, meatheads that don't just go to the gym all the time, because that'll get old pretty quickly. So we'll have some new stuff for y'all pretty soon. But if you got something that you'd like to see, just let us know, because I feel like here lately I've seen a lot of people doing like reviews of stuff, and I think that would be cool. We could do like product reviews or movie reviews, TV show review. I mean, anything, like y'all name it. We'll figure out a way to do it. As long as it doesn't entail us watching a whole season on Netflix in a day. So we'll make it happen. But I think we got a lot of cool stuff. We'll just have to keep grinding. That's all it is. So I hope everybody has a good week. I hope y'all learned a little bit of something. I'm sure you didn't make it to the end of this, but for those of you that are still here, or you just skipped ahead to the end, I still appreciate you. Appreciate you for showing up, watching, and we're going to keep the podcast thing rolling. If you want to be on it, legitimately, anybody watching this, or somebody that wants to be on it, just let me know. And again, we'll bring on guests, especially people with fresh takes or good ideas. So like, if you want to hop on the podcast train, the more the merrier. And that's all it takes for you to reach out. So
and comment on how bodybuilders wipe their ass.
How bodybuilders wipe their ass, and if a bidet actually works, because we're obviously interested. All right, y'all. Hope you have a good night, good rest of your week. Peace and love. Beyond Our Expertise is out.